James, you're appearing at Words by the Water Literature Festival with Jane Gardam to discuss basing your new novel on one that you'd written previously. You've written a sequel to your highly acclaimed novel Ferney. Now, why did you decide to do this?
Because the story of Ferney had been stuck in my mind for such a long time, and I'd left it in such a strange place in the first book that it was always vaguely in my mind that I wanted to come back to it. But I also had a sense I needed to let real time pass, and 16 years have passed since the action described in Ferney, and that was necessary because of the nature of the rest of the story. So I've been biding my time, thinking about it for a long time, and I'm sort of at the state of mind now where I will never try writing a sequel again, because I had no idea how hard it is to write a sequel.
Why is it hard?
It's hard in this case because publishers justifiably say, look, a sequel needs to appeal to people who never read the first one. Otherwise, it's a bit awkward, isn't it? You're selling a book where you're saying to people, actually, before you buy this book, you've got to go and buy the first one. So it's got to be a freestanding story. It's got to make sense by itself. And at the same time, it mustn't bore people who've already read the first one, and it mustn't bewilder people who haven't read the first one. And because Ferney is a complicated idea, there's lots of complex stuff in it, and because I left it hanging in such a peculiar state, that's been quite a tricky task, and I've had 4 goes at it, and this 4th version has, I think, finally hit the spot.
So what are the major pitfalls?
Well, the major pitfalls, I think, are avoiding repeating too much. That as the original story unfolded, so you are, I hope, drawn in as a reader to accepting this bizarre situation, which, without giving the game away too much, depends on a man and a woman being reborn over and over again in the same village and remembering their past lives. But if you just throw that idea at a reader, most readers are going to balk at that. It's a lot to ask them to swallow. So the way Ferney worked in the original was to lure you into it, really, by gradually realising what's going on in this man's life. And so the problem is, do you have to do that all over again in a sequel? I mean, some people will know what the rules of the game are straight away. Other people won't have the faintest idea. And to make it work for both of them is quite a balancing act.
Sounds fascinating. I look forward to hearing more about it.
It's called The Lives She Left Behind, and
yes,
we'll be talking about it.
The Lives She Left Behind.
That's
You've
right.
stuck with that title.
Mm-hmm.
Good.